Hello everyone, this is Dr. Neeta and I welcome you all to our classroom management session. Now, this is phase number 5 in our teachers training diploma courses. This phase is very lengthy, so I'm dividing this phase into different parts. In this part, we are going to see basic things like how actually we have to lay rules in the classroom, how should be the environment, how should we understand students, how should we communicate with the caregivers or parents, and what kind of arrangement needs to be there in the classroom. So all that kind of things actually we are going to see in today's topic. For rest of the topic, separate sessions I'll provide to you. So let's begin with classroom management. Phase number 5, classroom management. An ideal classroom environment is where the students are free to explore and are giving to learn because they want to, not because they are expected to. So this is the most important statement of this classroom management phase, that student needs to come to you rather than actually most of the time it happens for preschooler kindergarten schools. Actually our target audience is not willing to come to school. So most important thing, a responsibility of the school is to develop that interest within the child, so that child wants to come to school, not just because he sent to that environment, and we are imposing something on him or her. Rather he should actually like to come to school. That kind of environment we have to create in the school, in the education system, and that is what is actually we are going to learn how we should develop that kind of environment. So moving ahead, students should be taught what they consider important, but at the same time follow the standards. Students needs to be led into becoming what they are capable of by offering choice and variety instead of being bossed to memorize mere facts. Life is about the choices we make daily. That is why it is important to include the non-coercive discipline into the classroom. Children learn through positive reaction from others and incentives to do this personal best. Student must be given encouragement to complete a task and then rewarded, so they know they did it for a reason. Rewards must not be tangible every time. Simple praise or a smile will satisfy too. Now, all over this course, we are actually considering that we are actually implementing experiential learning. And in experiential learning, actually, most of the time, students are learning by themselves. So, here in this kind of environment, complete freedom and joy is provided to students, and they are having that kind of flexibility, or they may actually do things as per their choice. That kind of choices we provide in this kind of learning environment. So whenever it comes, so we have to give priority to what actually they want to do, rather than what we would like to impose on them. So that kind of environment actually we have to create while managing the classroom. So creating learning environment. Creating learning environment for young learners, specifically pre-primary school students, that is 2 years to 5 year students. Effective preschool classrooms are places where children feels well cared for and safe. They are places where children are valued as individuals and where their need for attention, approval, and affections are supported. There are also places where children can be helped to acquire a strong foundation in the knowledge and skills needed for school success. Young children needs teachers who welcome all these children to their classroom, including children from various culture, children whose first language is not English, and children who have disabilities. So first foremost important thing teacher has to give is no partiality. Whatever kind of students are there, teachers should be unbiased. She should not have any kind of biasness toward the culture, disability, language, region. That are all kind of things actually teacher never think of, and she should be actually good with each and everyone, and similar kind of behavior she should pursue with all the kind of students. Young children need teachers who take time to work with them individually in small groups and sometimes with the entire class to help them develop their cognitive and social skills, their language abilities, and their interest in learning new things about the world. Young children need instructions to develop the thinking language and early literacy skills needed for continued school success. Next topic is effective preschool teachers and child care provider. Know when children can figure out new ideas and concepts on their own and when it is important to explain things to them step by step. Encourage children to participate in classroom activities and to honor the classroom rules. Creating a learning environment for young children. Again, listen to what the children says and expand upon their language, building their vocabulary and background knowledge. Know when to teach directly, when to provide time for exploration and discovery, when to practice skills, and when to encourage creativity. Plan activities that have a purpose and that challenge children. Know how to help children learn to work together and to resolve their conflicts. Encourage children to respect each other's time and personal belongings. Provide many opportunities for conversation between, among, and children with adults. Know how to establish and maintain order in a classroom, but in a manner that permits the children to learn how to participate in and enjoy learning. Arrange the classroom in a way that enhances their work with children and how the children spend their time. So all these kind of things actually we can do for creating better learning environment. There are several things that we could actually make children valuable so that they will feel safe, secure, and actually that environment automatically get created for learning. Otherwise, if they don't like the environment, they don't like you, in that case learning will move away, and it will be just a kind of just a physical attendance, but they may not learn uh, uh, nicely. So that are all things we have to do in creating learning environment for young children's. Communicating with parents and caregivers. As a teacher, you and the children's parents and caregivers are partner in helping to get the children ready for future school success. Good communication with parents and caregivers can build support for and strengthen the important work that you are doing in the classroom. It is important for you to communicate with parents and caregivers because they will have a better understanding of how you are helping to prepare their children for success in school. They will learn how well their children are progressing in developing the building blocks of learning. They will learn ways in which they can help their children at home. You will have a better understanding of the backgrounds and the experiences of the children. The children will see that the adult in their life cares about them and are interested in their learning and development. So, in the last slides, we have seen about uh, communicating with parents and caregivers. Now, most of the time, it happens that we arrange parents teacher meeting, parent teacher conferences, or some kind of programs wherein we actually involve parents. And of course, open days are there. On open days, whenever they are there for analyzing the progress report of the child, at that moment of time, agenda is very fixed. But apart from this, whenever you being a teacher, you want some kind of help, just like the child is not listening to you, or child may be an isolated child, or some different kind of problem. If you being a teacher you are facing, in that case it's very important that you being a teacher, you should call the parents personally and talk to them regarding the child and understand how the child is at home and understand the hobbies, interest of the child, or just learn more about the child's background, so that you will understand his behavior, and based on that you could actually analyze their psychology, why they are behaving in a certain way, and how actually you can work with them. That is one thing. Another thing is, most of the time it happens that parents comes to you when they are having any kind of problem or complaint, and in that case you have to treat them very carefully, because it's your responsibility. You being a teacher, you are responsible for solving all their problems, all the queries, so you have to manage. You should not lose your temper even though they are shouting, they are nagging, or they are yelling. Still you have to actually keep yourself patient, and you have to listen them properly, and you actually try to understand them by bringing yourself on their place, and just try to analyze their point of view, try to understand them, and try to solve their problem in a positive way rather than taking it negatively, and make a team. Like ask them, ask parents that you are also interested in the progress of the child, I am also doing the same job, why don't we come together and have a team and work on it, rather than fighting among ourselves. Just discuss how better we can make our child and what kind of progress we can do. Whatever problems are we are facing, let's discuss and resolve the issues. And that is how actually you have to treat them in a special way. You have to always give them a very special treatment. In the upcoming sessions, we'll see what are the qualities of teacher, how an ideal teacher should be. But this is the most important time, whenever the difficult time comes, or whenever you have to actually give yourself that opportunity, whenever your real nature will come in front of others. At that moment of time, if you stay calm, you actually handle it in a stable way, then and then only actually you are really proving your job in a correct way. So that is very important whenever you are handling caregivers or parents. Now, the next topic is, how can I treat people when with respect automatically? A very important topic. So, ignore them when they say or do something that hurts my feelings. Don't argue or fight with someone who is obviously not feeling good about himself or herself. Overlook it when someone is trying to tease you to get you mad. Don't say anything in anger. Count, feel 10 before speaking, or don't say anything until the anger has passed. Don't say negative things. You have a right to have your opinion, but you do not have the right to express it. Always try to think of everyone as doing the best they can, see everyone as the best that they can be. Put yourself in other person's place and try to understand what their point of view is. Treat other as you would like to be treated. Now these are the things they have given, that this is how we being a teacher, we should treat people. But now I myself, if I am not that much capable, then it's not actually possible to treat rather people with respect, because sometime it may happen that even my temper will, I will lose my temper, and I may shout even though I try to handle, but I could not. So in that case, stability of mind is very important. Just by counting, back counting, or drinking water whenever I'm having anger, it's very difficult whenever the situation arises. So you have to work on yourself when no such kind of situations are there. Now, for example, if you'd like to check the brake of your car, you have to actually check it when the road is empty, and at that moment of time, if your car brake are working smoothly, then and then only it will work smooth whenever the time come. So you have to practice these skills in the regular life whenever situations are not there, because if you will not work in that time, whenever situation will come, you will automatically blast, because that is not in your hand, because most of the time that situation actually comes in such a way that we may lose our temper. So for doing this, you have to actually give yourself some time to meditate regularly, do exercises, get relaxed, give some time, some relaxation time to yourself, so that at least you should have that peace of mind, and you yourself become stable as a whole personality. Not only whenever I have to treat someone or parents are coming, not only at that time, but in a regular life, I should be a balanced personality. Then and then only, whenever situations arise, I may actually automatically treat people respectfully and always think from their perspective, and that's how I can tackle the situation. So that all things are very important. Moving ahead, now we'll see the classroom arrangement. Furniture should be arranged in a way so that it caters to the safety measure. Classroom should be divided between recreation area and the work area. All seating arrangement should be comfortable and safe. Ideally, and U or V-shaped seating arrangement works best for the students as well as teacher movements. So whenever we are concerning about the preschoolers, one-to-one contact on the individual basis, we being a teacher, we need to work with the child. So whenever you are having that regular setting of the classroom wherein students are sitting one behind another, at that moment of time there are chances that the last backbenchers may not have that much bonding, or that much rapport may not get created between the teacher and the student, because that much frequent face-to-face communication is not happening, and that is actually not very good sign. So for that, we have to arrange our classroom in such a way that all the time teacher can have face-to-face contact with an individual child. For that, U or V shape is the best arrangement whenever you are working with the younger childrens. So that is always suggested or recommended. And it should be safe environment. Safe environment means all the furniture needs to be made specifically for the height of children. Material needs to be very soft. All that kind of thing needs to be taken care whenever it comes to the preschoolers classroom arrangement. Classroom should have softboard to display children's work. All materials displayed should be at the children's eye level. The classroom should have a library corner with pictures, storybooks, which should be changed at a regular interval. Now moving ahead with the timetable, how actually we should schedule their timing and intervals, everything. So this is one sample timetable wherein we are considering 2-3 hours timetable. So let's start at 9:15 to 9:30 is arrival or greeting time. 9:30 to 10:20 will give them different kind of outdoor activities, just like a list of a few of the outdoor activities given over here. After that, 10:20 to 10:45, introduction of the theme and concept of color, shapes, numbers, words, all pertaining to the theme of the day. Then 10:45 to 11:05 snacks time. 11:05 to 11:40 indoor. Maybe free play with the puzzles, block and other fine motor activities, creative activities, science, library book, all these kind of activities you can do in the indoor free play. Then 11:40 to 12. You can have story, you can have science time, rhymes time, songs time, and 12 to 12:30 departure time. So this is how you can plan the simple timetable for a preschooler class, playgroup, nursery, junior, senior. In this way, you can add up more activities wherever there is a theme of the day. Based on that, you can actually create it. You should have at least 1 month prior daily lesson plan ready with you, along with every activity, whatever kind of material you need for those activity, everything needs to be planned. Actually, a whole year planning needs to be done prior, but daily lesson plan needs to be get ready for the teachers at least 1 month prior. So detailing you can do on the daily basis, weekly basis, but at least it should be ready prior to a month, so that teacher will get sufficient time for the preparation. Even the administrative department will get sufficient time to get all the kind of materials make available for the students for different kind of activities and all those kind of things. So going ahead with the next topic, working with the pairs and the groups. So pair and group work. Since a teacher had to deal with groups of students daily in order to make his teaching effective, he needs study group dynamics of small groups. In a class, pupils come from different socio-economic backgrounds. If the teacher is well equipped with the basic knowledge of group dynamics, he provides better guidance for adjustment. The analysis of sociometric studies shows the following pattern of relationship among the members of a class of children who are 8 years and above. Now there are different type of groups and pairs and different type of students. So one category is stars. Now there are pupils in the classroom whom majority of the student like. They are called the star performer of the class. Now stars are good in everything. Like they are good in activities, they are good in singing, they are good in rhyming, they are good in maths, they are good in all the other subject. So whenever there actually any kind of activity and opportunity comes, they are always ahead of everyone, and that's why actually everyone knows them. And as everyone knows them, even they are good with everyone, everyone likes them. Even teacher is mostly get affectionate by those students, because most of the time they are coming forward for most of the activities. So these students are like stars of the class, and everyone loves them, everyone likes them, even everyone knows them. That is what is the quality of star performers. Next part is isolates. The member of the class are indifferent toward these pupils. Isolates make no choice and receive no choice. So this category is exactly opposite to the star performer. Isolates don't want to get socialized with other. Even they are not interested in any kind of choices. Even they don't want actually to make any choices, means they don't want to come forward for doing something. Even they don't want to get participate anywhere. Even they don't want to get socialized with other people. So they may facing some kind of difficulty or problem, but these are isolates who don't, no one likes. Even someone like, but these pupil in themselves, they are introvert personality, and they actually don't want to share any kind of feelings, emotion with other, and even they don't like other people. So this category comes in the isolates. Rejected. Pupil whom no member of the class likes or wants to be associated with. These receive only rejection. Now, rejected category is again different from isolates. Isolates, they themselves don't want to get socialized with other, but rejected are someone who other don't want to actually get entangled with them, because others are rejecting them. They want to actually get socialized with other, but others are rejecting them. Now there are few students, those who may not actually keep themselves very well, like they don't carry themselves well, and that's why they are not so much appealing, so that other students may have a good contact with them. Anytime it may happen that their actions, or whatever kind of behavior they are showing in the class, it's not again good, or it's not correct, and that's why actually other students are just rejecting them. Even they are not listening to teachers, and that's why even teachers are not in favor of them. So this is category of the students which are in the category of rejected, wherein they actually trying to get socialized with others, but others don't want to actually accept them. So this category falls in rejected one. Next is mutual pairs. There are students who mention each other. There is reciprocal relationship among mutual pairs of the student. Now, mutual pair means uh, one to one. They don't want to actually adjust with other pupil in the class, they don't want other friends. They are very happy within that pair. Everything they are sharing among themselves, and every activity they want to do with each other. They are coming to school together, they are going from school together. Every activity they are doing together, and that is what is called as mutual cares. And the last is chains and clings. Now whenever two students are friend of each other, their friends, like for example A is friend of B and B is friend of C, so ultimately A is indirectly friend of C. So all that kind of chains form whenever two students meet each other, so that comes in the chain and clings category. So there are chains where A choose B and B choose C. Another phenomenon which is evidence from the analysis of the closed circle where A likes B, B likes C, and C likes A. This is called as clings. So these are isolates. Now we have to see working with isolates. So helping the isolates, a teacher can help the isolates by selecting those students who do not show aversion and form a small group with the isolates, setting a task for them in which they are likely to succeed, boosting their confidence, praising success moderately. Finding out skills and hobbies that the isolates show, promise help and try developing them. Discuss the problem of isolate and help try solving them. Now, whenever it's a opportunity for a teacher to working with isolate, first she, being a teacher, she should understand that student very nicely. She should actually understand what he likes to do, how she can actually help him or her. Now once she identified his or her strength, after that she has to actually give her activity in such a way that she could enjoy it. Then whenever she is performing better within a particular activity at that moment of time, everyone else needs to actually boost her confidence by giving some kind of appreciation appraisal for whatever kind of work that isolate is doing. And that is how we can actually give them task in a small group first, and then try to make them come together with a large group also. And that is how we can boost their confidence and make them closer, and actually help them out to work with other students also. So these are the different kind of strategies actually teacher could do to help isolate. Next is to improve emotional climate of the class. A teacher can: free discussion should be occasionally arranged. Suggestions should be invited from students to improve upon the existing conditions. Teacher is a model for the students and her behavior should be impartial. She should provide help to individual students who need it. The teacher should help students to understand each other in formal and informal meeting. Teacher can use group counseling to improve the emotional climate of a class. Tours and visits can be organized to bring the students closer to each other. So to create some kind of emotional bonding or emotional climate within the classroom actually should work in such a way that they all together is one family. And just like a family have certain kind of events and activities and discussions, understanding, so all that kind of thing needs to be happen. Even whenever we go together somewhere out wherein we just enjoy, we don't have any particular task, we just have to actually freely roam here and there, and at that moment of time actually we enjoy the company of those whom we like. And that's how we could close together with other people also. So that kind of activities needs to be arranged. Some kind of meeting needs to be arranged wherein we are just asking their interest, we are just asking some suggestions, we are giving or asking feedback. So all those kind of things we should do to improve the emotional climate of the class. Thank you. This much for today, this much for this classroom management.